Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And good news, the Hogwarts Legacy boycott is working fantastically.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's only sold $850 million in sales in 2 weeks.
They stopped it from hitting $1 billion, so there you go.
Look at that. And only 12 million copies have been sold in 2 weeks.
And we haven't had it released on every system yet. Switch and stuff isn't out yet, so...
No, Switch and PS4 and Xbox are not out, and those are probably the consoles that have the highest market penetration. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens. But again, I do believe that a lot of the success is owed to gaming journalists trying so hard to shut this thing down.
Yes, I agree. I think a lot of success is owed to the quote-unquote boycott, which, I mean, talk about failing epically.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. We'll talk about the numbers. This is kind of it's not really a post-mortem, but I think the battle for Hogwarts is basically over at this point, and the consumers have spoken, and the game
they're not going to stop screaming about it.
I know, but well, wait until the TV series is announced. That'll be really interesting.
They'll find something else to scream about next week, but until they find something else to scream about next week, you still won't hear the end of it.
Oh, Atomic Heart, they're going on about it.
Oh, that's okay. So they have that new target. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we haven't heard as much about Hogwarts Legacy, because now they're all focused on Atomic Heart. So let's talk about this one. Before we get into it, any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, over what, 296,000 subs?
We're so close to 300.
We're only like 3,500 away from
Yay,
300,000.
I'm so
I don't know what to do for 300,000.
Well, I know we're going to do a live stream. I know the kids wanted to do some of the games on the live stream again, like we did before.
Oh, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, because they're hilarious. But, you know.
Now, we don't live stream very much on this channel, but we do live stream on the Clownfish Gaming channel. We're actually going to move the live streams from YouTube over to Twitch, and then we're going to get those videos edited and bring them back
You
over
have to have
YouTube.
time to live stream, and you don't usually even do
We
that.
don't. People are like, how do you put out so much content? How do you guys do so many things? It's
We
like,
don't sleep.
we don't sleep, and we honestly don't do a lot of live streams. A lot of channels do 5, 6, 8 hour live streams multiple times per week, and we're like, yeah, we don't. We can't.
Yeah, we
just
don't
don't
have
have time. Anyway, nobody cares. Let's talk about this. Hogwarts Legacy sells 12 million copies during dispute over rolling. The video game generated $850 million in sales in just 2 weeks. Online discussion, is that what we're calling it? Before its release was largely about the Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling's comments on trans issues.
Here's the thing. If it was this discussion, it wouldn't have blown up like that. But it wasn't discussion. It was, militant bullshit. Like, if you said you want to play this game, I'm going to get you fired from your job. If you like Harry Potter anyway, it's because you're a horrible person.
Yeah, that's what did it. And again, it was just the backlash was disproportionate with the comments made, and the fact that the game itself, even though it takes place in the Harry Potter universe, she had very little to do with it. Very little. In fact, they said it in a time period that wasn't really covered in the books.
So it's kind of all like, made up. A lot of it was made up.
Yeah, kind of like Star Wars. The Star Wars games, they're kind of far removed, usually from the main plot or whatever.
Disney movies.
Yeah, right. Disney, Star Wars, completely.
Far removed.
But yeah, but regardless, she is going to make money. She makes money every time you go to Universal. She makes money from Lego. She makes money all over the place. Party favors. I mean, I guess my feeling on this is, are you going to tell the parents that buy Harry Potter napkins for a kid's birthday party that they're bigots?
Well, they will, and then they wonder why everybody's turning against them. But, beyond that, as soon as you go on there and start talking about it, you've just boosted it. As soon as, you mention it at all, do a search for it, harass somebody and tag in her name or the game, you just boosted it. You just gave it more attention, and now the algorithm's going to be like, oh, they want to see more of this. Boost, boost, boost.
And I honest to God, I do not think this game would have been as successful.
Oh, no way. I don't
without
think
the
so.
controversy.
I think it would have done well and people would have liked it.
Yeah.
But it would have been the diehards. But now everybody's buying it. And some people just buy multiple copies just to give these people the middle finger.
Yeah, and the thing is that like the Harry Potter brand was damaged. Fantastic Beasts damaged the brand. This thing has actually given it another, an extra life, a one-up, and it is because of the controversy. So yeah, $850 million. $850 million in 2 weeks. Some critics who have called Rowling's positions and anti-transgender, a sentiment she vehemently denies, called for a boycott of Hogwarts Legacy, which Warner Brothers Games has said she was not involved in creating. because this is based kind of on the movie version of Harry Potter, and it's set 100 years or whatever before.
Yes, and her popularity and her notoriety was kind of dropping down a little bit, and good job. You just made her relevant again.
Exactly. I mean, that's like, you don't understand how this works. You literally have made her relevant again. Fantastic Beasts was damaged goods. The movies were not doing well. They had a declining return time. If you had just let things play out the way they were going to play out, people probably would have been like, yeah, we're over Harry Potter, whatever, moving on. But no.
Take away all the stories related to this, and there wasn't much, there wasn't a whole lot of stories left. I mean, there's a lot of stories, but there's a hell of a lot fewer stories when it isn't related to this backlash. You built your own enemy. You did it yourself.
Yeah. So,
good job.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's what they don't understand is that, and look, I mean, most normies are completely oblivious to it, but I do know a lot of people bought the game specifically because of the bullying against people that were going to stream it. And they actually turned, I mean, the unfortunate side effect of it, and we said before, the unfortunate side effect of this is whatever legit concerns trans activists have, because of the crazies, just like any political movement or whatever, because of the people that take
I would just say any legit concerns trans people have. Don't even put activists in there, because as soon as you throw activists into anything, that's the crazies. No matter what it is.
Legit concerns that trans people would have, unfortunately, have been tainted by the other people that are going out there and stalking, doxing, harassing, threatening. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now people are like, yeah, well, the whole thing must be just whatever. Yeah, we're not going to listen now because
bigotry where there wasn't some before, or there wasn't as much.
And that's the unfortunate side effect
of
this, right?
Good job.
The back and forth over Rowling's positions grew particularly heated in the gaming community, where members tend to be deeply invested in online controversy and harassment.
It's mostly the media. Let's be fucking honest here for a minute. The gaming community, where the media likes to run their mouth. They don't even play the games half the time. And then you have people like giving it bad reviews, and they review sex toys normally. The media.
Yeah.
The media is where this is all ground zero for this bullshit.
They said, although Hogwarts Legacy quickly broke 1 million concurrent viewers on the streaming site Twitch, some streamers refused to play it, and a few websites devoted to gaming decide not to review it. That's their choice. Again, we've never said, you're not allowed to boycott it yourself.
No, I agree. If you want to really feel strongly about it, then by all means boycott it. That is your choice. But you don't get to tell everybody else what they can and can't do.
It's the harassing and you can even voice your concerns. Say, hey, look, I got concerns about this. Like, nobody's stopping you from saying, hey, I got concerns about this. It's when it goes too far and it's like, let's stalk, harass, dox, threaten,
bully,
and then at that point, people are like, yeah, you know what, you're nuts, whatever. We're not playing this game. Well, they are playing this game. That's the problem.
There's even articles on how to hide that you're playing this game.
Yeah.
So you can still play it and then say you're an activist and still play.
The weird thing is I'm not seeing nearly as many anti-Hogwarts Legacy articles as I was a week ago, now that the sales are through the roof. And I think the gaming journos that were on the other side of it, that were trying to guilt people into boycotting it, realize that by giving it more attention and looking like a freaking school marm and a Karen, that they've actually, like you said, created their own worst enemy.
What got me was the one article, the one lady was like talking about, she goes, I wasn't even sure if I should cover it because I knew my friends would be mad about it. And I know I'm going to take a lot of backlash from my friends. And I'm like, wait, so, it's your job to cover it. So you debated it because you knew that if you did it, that they would come after you. So that was your being brave.
Yeah, being brave. I played a video game.
It's like, I talked about it.
I mean, that's the thing that shows like where the mindset is. And this is what we deal with all the time, because we deal with people who are perpetually online. Like, believe it or not, we actually have lives outside of YouTube and outside of the internet, and we go about our life. And then
not much of one, but
then we sit down, we do our YouTube thing, we do our other stuff we do, and then we kind of walk away from it and go do other stuff.
Yes, that's it.
And then even more stuff on top of that. But the people that are perpetually online have turned this into a much bigger deal. And
that's their life.
That's their life. And it is because of the gaming community, because Rowling's been making money on so many other things, and I don't hear any calls for boycotts. Mm-hmm. But once you come into the gaming community, then you've got limited runs community manager getting fired just for saying she was looking forward to it. You got Troy Levitt, who was a lead on the game, having them go through his YouTube history and finding videos he made like 7 or 8 years ago, you know, that were Gamergate adjacent. And really, at the end of the day, the Gamergate thing was mostly gamers against journalists, gaming
Well,
journalists.
they just keep proving them right. And that's the problem.
So, and here's the other thing now. People might actually look into that situation retroactively and be like, wait, when have gaming journalists been crazy? How long have they been crazy? Oh, going back to like 2014, 2013. Oh, well, tell me about this Gamergate thing. Well, the official version is this, but the version that gamers believe is this. Then they're going to line it up with what they've seen with Hogwarts Legacy. And they're going to be like, oh, well, maybe the official story is not exactly true. Maybe it's just coming from a certain point of view, being skewed by people that are perpetually online. Just saying, so much damage is going to be done by this. So then they talk about Elden Ring and how Elden Ring sold 12 million copies in 2 weeks. So gaming investor, advisor, and New York University professor who studies the business of video games, and I cannot pronounce his name, Joost van Drunen, called the sales numbers a massive success, putting the game in the same league as Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, well, we look at the other one. Elden Ring in 2 weeks sold that many, and it wanted to do 20 million total. Yeah. So this is easily going to do that, probably.
Easily. And Elden Ring, I would say, is not as accessible because of the difficulty of the game. A lot of people played it because they talked about it because they're, oh, you got to play it because it is a good game, right? But it's incredibly hard. Hogwarts is one of those games that like anybody can get into, right? So it has a chance, I think, of selling even more copies. He says, evidence of the appeal of the strong intellectual property to mainstream gaming audiences. He said that the longevity of the game was in question because it's a single-player format, most likely leading players to burn through the content and move on. Yeah, but then again, we have Skyrim too, which has been released how many damn times, you know, over the years. It's not possible to determine whether online opposition to the highly anticipated game has affected sales. Yes, it has. The game has been released for computers, PS5, Xbox Series X, Nintendo. Yeah, it hasn't come out for the PS4, Xbox One, or Nintendo Switch.
And let's be honest here, a lot of people, you know, don't have PlayStation 5 because until recently you couldn't even get one. I mean, we were lucky, and thanks to me, you were able to get one. Yeah. But, you know, a lot of people couldn't get one.
And I actually play the Switch way more than
I know. A lot of people do just play Switches, you know. So, I mean, that's a big market that hasn't even been, you know, entered yet.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They're not even addressing the rolling situation, but they said fans concluded one of the side characters in the game was transgender. A representative for the developer told IGN it has been a high priority throughout the development of Hogwarts Legacy to create a game that is representative and diverse, aligning with our wonderful fan culture. And that was before the backlash. They were like, even, you know, creating your character and characters in the game, you know, they've tried to do as much as they can do, but apparently it's just
never enough.
It's never enough. And Rolling, all she cares about is the check she's getting every month, you know. So there it is, guys. Congratulations on that boycott. It's working really well. Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.